Welcome to Power Plays Network, where history's greatest power moves come to life. If you want to master strategy, influence, and success, hit that subscribe button and like this video. Let's dive in.
In 1997, Steve Jobs stood on stage and declared war. His target? The entire world. With a single speech, he didn't just save Apple. He turned millions of people into loyal soldiers for a company that was weeks from bankruptcy. By mastering the darkest laws of power, persuasion, and psychological manipulation. Today we're dissecting Steve Jobs' greatest power plays, tactics he stole straight from Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, and Robert Greene. These are the same laws that let him brainwash employees, customers, and even his rivals. And by the end of this video you'll know how to steal them. Let's break down the 4 ruthless rules of the Reality Distortion Playbook. Power play number 1, the Reality Distortion Field. Law 27 plus 28. Law 27 of the 48 Laws of Power says, play on people's need to believe. Jobs weaponized this better than anyone. He didn't sell computers. He sold a religion. At Apple, he created a cult where employees worked 90-hour weeks for minimum wage, and thanked him for it. Oh, by convincing them they were changing the world. But here's the twist. Jobs combined this with Law 28, enter action with boldness. In 2001, he launched the iPod, a $399 gadget that held 1,000 songs in your pocket. Critics laughed. Sony called it overpriced. But Jobs didn't care. He staged rockstar-like keynote reveals, hypnotizing audiences with phrases like magical and revolutionary. He didn't just sell a product, he sold a future you desperately wanted to believe in. Action step: create a cult, not a product. Make people feel they're part of something bigger, even if it's a lie. Use bold, prophetic language. Tell them they're pioneers, rebels, or the chosen ones. Power play number 2, the empty box strategy. Law 3. Law 3 says, conceal your intentions. Jobs was a master of secrecy and misdirection. In 2007, he unveiled the iPhone as 3 devices in one. A widescreen iPod, a revolutionary phone, and a breakthrough internet communicator. The crowd lost their minds. But here's what he hid. The first iPhone was riddled with flaws. No copy-paste. No app store. It crashed constantly. Jobs knew showing weakness would kill the myth, so he buried the truth behind theater. Watch the keynote. See how he demoed only pre-selected features. Notice how he never let journalists test the phone beforehand. He turned a half-baked prototype into a messiah product by controlling the narrative. By the time buyers realized the flaws, they were already addicted. Action step: always sell the fantasy first. Reveal just enough to dazzle, but never let them see the man behind the curtain. Distract with polish, mystery, and grand promises. Let their imagination fill the gaps. Power play number 3, the Cult of Cruelty. Law 6. Law 6 commands, court attention at all costs. Jobs didn't just want loyalty, he wanted obsession. And he knew cruelty creates legends. He'd humiliate employees in meetings, calling their work dog shit. He parked in handicapped spots to assert dominance. He even refused chemotherapy initially, insisting fruit diets could cure cancer. These weren't flaws, they were calculated power plays. Because brutality makes people fear you, and fear makes you unforgettable. When Apple launched the Think Different campaign, they didn't feature computers. They showed Gandhi, Einstein, and MLK, rebels who changed history. Jobs tied himself to their legacy, knowing controversy would cement his godlike image. The lesson? Nice guys finish last. Villains get worshipped. Action step: polarize your audience. Attack critics publicly. Wear black turtlenecks like armor. turn your flaws into mythology. As Robert Greene writes, it's better to be hated than ignored. Power play number 4, the Temple of Apple, Law 34. Law 34 dictates, be royal in your own fashion. Jobs didn't build stores, he built temples. Walk into an Apple store. The glass staircases, the minimalist tables, the geniuses in blue shirts. It's designed to feel sacred, like a church for technology. And you're not a customer, you're a pilgrim. Jobs obsessed over details outsiders never noticed. He made engineers sign the inside of MacBooks even though no one would see it, to force perfectionism. He banned screws on circuit boards because they were ugly. He even patented the glass staircases. Every touch point screamed, this is the future. You're either in or you're extinct. Action step, turn your brand into a sovereign kingdom. Use rituals, symbols, and spaces that feel untouchable. Make people kneel before entering your world. The downside, Law 5. But power has a price. Law 5 warns, guard your reputation. Jobs ignored this, and it nearly destroyed him. His cruelty bred resentment. In 1985, Apple's board fired him. His obsession with secrecy alienated allies. Even his cancer treatment was delayed because he refused modern medicine. The lesson? Every power play has collateral damage. You can bend reality until it breaks you. Yet Jobs' greatest trick was turning his flaws into legend. When he returned to Apple in 1997, he didn't apologize. He doubled down. The Think Different ad wasn't for Apple. It was his manifesto. He cast himself as the martyr, the rebel, the savior. And we bought it. Steve Jobs proved one thing. Power isn't about truth. It's about belief. He hacked the human need for meaning, wrapped it in sleek aluminum, and sold it back to us at a 400% markup. So steal his playbook. Distort reality. Conceal your weaknesses. And remember, the greatest trick Jobs ever pulled was convincing the world he was a genius, and not a ruthless manipulator who read the 48 laws of power like a Bible.
Power is everywhere, if you know where to look. Every move you make shapes your future. Learn the game, master the strategy, and rise above the rest. If you found value in today's Power Play, don't just watch, apply it. Hit that like button, subscribe to Power Plays Network, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new law of power in action. Your next move determines your destiny. Choose wisely.